Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Talk. I'm very pleased to welcome back to the show David Carter. Welcome back, David.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks for having me again. This is fun.
My pleasure. Now, you're here to talk about your short film, My Friend is a Giant, right?
Yes, 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 yes,
So,
yes,
when did you
yes.
write this? I mean, I imagine you're the one who wrote the film.
Yeah, yeah. Wrote, directed, produced, and I have a role in it as well. We did this last summer over May, June, July. We did like 5 weekends and just got together just with some union friends that I have within the ACTRA. And we got together and I wrote the story and I threw it out there and said, anybody interested? And the only thing is I didn't have the young, our lead was a young girl.
Yeah,
And I
right.
didn't know anybody on there. So I went through my agency at the time and we found someone and she was fantastic.
So,
Little, yeah.
basically, it's like the giant Gerard and Emily, the young girl, are the
Yes,
main characters, right?
correct. Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what
And
what I
then
want to know from you was the giant like real as in, I don't mean real as, but physical, or was he like a spirit guide?
I'm going to say he was physical to the character, to
Okay.
Emily. He was physical to her. I don't want
Okay.
to say too much because, as I mentioned, the short film is right now doing the film festival circuit,
Hmm.
and once that's over, then I'm going to actually put it out on YouTube. So I don't want to say too much to give the story away,
Right.
but the giant is real to the characters within the characters.
Okay.
So,
So what inspired you to write this particular?
yeah, this one. Try not to get upset. This is going to happen. My wife's family are very tight. They're very tight. And it's because they lost their dad when they were very young. So that always played in the back of my mind, like
Right.
how they managed a single mother raising five children. And so that was just always in the back of my mind. I was just thinking, what could I write on? What could I write? And then could I play on this? So it was kind of inspired by that.
Hmm.
And then and I just took it from there as a single mother raising a child, both dealing with tragedies in their own ways. The mother as well is dealing with it as well, and the child deals with it as well. And in this story, she befriends this giant who helps her see things in a different way that maybe she hadn't thought of before,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it helps her deal with the tragedy, and her and her mother move on as the story goes. I don't think that's too much to say about the film. The film itself tells the story. This is kind of just basically what it's about. So that's what it was inspired by, and yeah. So a little personal touch there.
Right. Right. Is this your first time like doing all of those parts, like directing and producing and writing and acting?
To this scale, yeah, this was my first ACTRA co-op that I've done. I've done short little snippets before with friends and stuff, just for demo reel footage, things like that, and self promotional type video clips. I've done those, but this was the first that I would call a full production
Hmm.
uh, to that. So very low budget, obviously, but you're borrowing from friends. Hey, can I borrow your house? And can I do this and this and stuff like that? So stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Right.
this was my first foray into the world of producing and directing what I would call an actual film.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
was going to ask you too, yeah, exactly where were some of the scenes shot?
yeah. So everything was filmed on our family's cottage in a lake just north of Sudbury, Ontario.
Hmm.
It's on the Wanapitei historical grounds, so there's reference to that in the film. Um, so it was all filmed there, the house and the landscape around, out in the woods and the lake and the pond and all that type of stuff. And yeah, so it was all
Yeah.
filmed.
Again, without giving it too much away to the audience, it just had that element of like sadness, but when her connection with the giant,
Yeah.
that freedom sort of idea, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's the big one there was kind of unlock the girl's ability to open up and see things in a different light.
Yeah,
And
very good.
yeah, so
Very,
the beginning of the film shows the connection she has with her father, and that plays out throughout the whole story. So
Right.
there's a connection. You'll see there's a connection of the father throughout the story. Each scene, you can see where there's a bit of the father there, and so I really wanted to emphasize that.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you hoping that will result in this film?
For me, it's just personal experience. I'm not looking for any grand applause or accolades and stuff. I did want to put it out there in the short film festival world, just because I believe in the project.
Hmm.
I think it has a good story. I think it has a good a little lesson. There may be a little lesson in there for things. I'm actually considering taking the film and maybe creating a children's book based on
Oh,
the story. So yeah, so I may
oh,
do
that
that
would be,
because I think it's a very positive lesson
yeah,
that's in the story. So
and very good for this time.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
people they're so focused on why give me that
yeah,
people need to realize that there's more to life than just your own needs, I guess per se.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's we brought our children up that way. I don't mean you personally,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we've done this somehow to the children, and
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, and it's hard to undo something you've done. Like my children are adults, obviously,
Sure, yeah, might as well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind
My
of,
children's are adults now.
well, yes, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yes, I'm telling somebody I have a great niece. Yeah, there's
Yes.
three greats, so just shows you. Anyway, now, do you plan on writing more?
Oh, absolutely. I've got a couple ideas right now. My next one's going to be a little darker, more of the dramatic aspect of it. It's in the head right now, and
Mm,
this one I'm gonna try and enter the world of fundraising and see how that works.
yeah,
So I'm hoping that this film maybe people will say, yes, maybe this guy's got something. I don't know, maybe he doesn't, but maybe this. So when you're asking about, is there something I'd like to get out of it? Maybe just a little recognition, so that I want to do some fundraising or
sure.
something. People will remember what I've done in the past and say, oh, okay, yeah, well, we can invest a little bit into this fellow here. So things like that.
What
So I have a
about
couple of ideas in my mind, and it's going to be fun.
what about grants? Are there not grants for
There are grants. I'll be looking at that as well. And I do promote myself as an Indigenous actor and filmmaker.
Mhm.
So I'll be looking at that as well. And if it happens, it happens. If not, then so be it. But yeah, I'll
Yeah,
be definitely looking at the grant way because I'm also interested in stage as well. So I have a stage item right now in pre-production as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that, and it's not cheap. It costs money. This little film, it's good and fine. You can borrow from your friends, and they can lend you locations and help you out as much as you can with props and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there is a financial commitment as well. And you don't when you're doing it this way, just showing it out to the short film festival circuit, you're not making any money on it. So
Right.
this is all out of pocket. And not that I'm complaining, it was a worthwhile endeavor. I'm happy and proud of the product, and we'll carry on. And it's really promoted a desire in me to want to do more. I like being on this side of the camera just as much as I enjoy being in front of the camera. So
Very good.
it's
How
going to be
long did it
fun. Yeah.
take for you from the
This
beginning?
from beginning to end,
Yeah.
probably 6 months, I think. 6 months before I sent to the first film festival. Yeah, I'm admitted a bit of a procrastinator, so it takes a little bit to get me to move. But I think yeah, so 6 months was about right. And this next one is going to probably about a year. The next one that I want to do is going to take about a year to do because
So
there's going to be a lot more logistics involved in what I want to do. So
right. So for people who don't know, how much footage did you actually start out with and end up, take to end up with that amount of time that you did?
oh geez, yeah. So we the end product was about is what 18 minutes of actual footage
Hmm.
that was shown, and I think I filmed off the top of my head. We did 10 days, 8 hours. I probably have at least 8 hours of footage that I filmed overall. Yeah. So I
Okay.
have I went into it with a every scene, every shot is going to be 3 takes, a minimum of 3 takes. So then, and you multiply that by each view that you have in each scene. So every scene I did, there was like at least 4 points of view from the
Right.
camera's point of view, times that by three, and then each one of them takes 2 or 3 minutes. So yeah, I think overall I had close to 8 hours of footage that I had to edit, and I edited it all myself. So,
I was going to
so I
ask
did
about editing. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I did that as all myself. Yeah. I think
So,
down the road, if I get to be a full production, I'll obviously have to have crew to do that type of stuff because it was a lot.
yeah.
And I don't think in the future I would act and direct in the same thing. I found that a little hard. I had an amazing second unit director. She was just really, really great. And she helped out a lot in there, but I don't think I'll act and direct again at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
hard.
easy. It's not easy.
It's not, no, because you're actually in the scene, and I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing with my scene partner, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking of the shot, I'm thinking of the editing, and I'm thinking of the sound right and all that type of stuff. So I like to maybe just focus on the one and become better at that than trying to be okay at just a couple of things, right? So,
Right.
so that's what
No, for the outdoor
yeah.
scenes, did you have cooperative weather or did you have to have?
We had the only really bad thing was the wind.
Mm,
That I really didn't account for. So we had to do a couple of voiceovers on there just because the wind was too loud. And of course, you're out in a lake community where people are living. So there's dogs barking and there's lawnmowers going and there's cars driving by. So there was that. But the weather worked out really, really well for us. I was very happy. I think we had to postpone one weekend shoot because we had cloudy weather. So I needed the clear skies to match up with a different scene.
right.
So we had to wait a week to do that. But other than that, it worked out really well. So
Was it always shot on the weekends?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we pretty much on the weekends. The young girl at the beginning was still in school, so we had to account for that, and people work as well, right? So,
Yeah.
and the guardian of the mother, the child actor's mother worked as well, so we had to take that into account, and my own schedule as well. So I'm retired per se, but so we had to look into that. So I think we did a couple of evening shoots just because I needed the darkness outside, but
Mhm.
for the most part, it was all done on the weekends. Yeah, I prefer that too. So
Right.
people are more available. Yeah.
Did you get the younger who played Emily? Did you get her to audition or did you just decide to?
No, no. The thing with actor co-ops, the rule is you're not supposed to ask for auditions. People that ask for auditions to actor co-ops, you're not
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to do it because it's friends, it's colleagues and friends getting together to produce something. So these are people that you've worked with in the past, or maybe you know what type of work they do, and you literally invite them to participate. So my next production, I've already got 4 or 5 people in mind that I want to work with on that. So just come right if they're available, great. If they're not available, then you find someone
Yeah.
else. But yeah, there's no auditions for actor co-op. You just
Okay.
invite friends. It's all it is.
Cool. So I would assume then in future endeavors, unless you get like major funding, that you're always going
Mhm.
to film in your area.
Not necessarily. No, I come from Manitoba, for example. I would love to go to Manitoba and do something. I grew up in a place called Selkirk, Manitoba, just north of Winnipeg.
Okay.
And as a child growing up in that area, I was always visiting Lower Fort Garry, which is it's a national provincial park out there. I'd love to film something out there in the late 19th century setting or something like that. I have a bit of a Western pioneer type spirit in me, so I'd love to do something like that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But for now, I'll film in this area because I have establishments here and I know people here. And again, when you're doing a film like this, you know, you're borrowing. Can I borrow your house, or can I borrow your garage, or borrow your backyard, and prop stuff like that? So it's nice to film in an area where you know people, and then go
Sure.
from there.
Now I would think that people would be pretty open to allowing you to film, whether it's, like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I had no problem. We had to use the one of the scenes in the film was a pond that was owned by a neighbor to who we were cottagers, and I didn't know the guy. He always seemed like a real grumpy guy to me. I went over there. What do you want? So I explained who I was. Oh yeah, no problem. Stuff like that. Don't make a mess. Okay, you don't know. You have to ask. So yeah. So
yeah, very good.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
okay. So people won't be able to see it yet until until it is, sorry, until it's accepted by the film festivals. Is that how it works?
Oh, until the last one. So I have right now up to and including the Cinefest in Sudbury, Ontario,
Hmm.
which is late summer this year. So it probably won't be on social media until probably Thanksgiving, before
Okay.
Thanksgiving. So yeah, is when I'll put it on there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to release it as a full 20-minute film, or I might break it down into maybe a 4-part series, because people, after a couple of minutes, this is boring. So I'd rather just give them like 4 or 5 minutes at a shot, and
I
then
had
make
no
make it a
problem
bit of
watching the whole
make
thing.
it a bit of an episodic out of it, something like that. So
I had no
but
problem. Sorry, people, I saw it.
yeah, no, that's fine. That's good. Yeah.
But I had no
And
problem listening to
yeah.
the whole thing, you know.
Well, I had to think. I was thinking about this. Now, what would Stephen Colbert do? He would see the movie, and all these people that do interviews on TV, they would have seen the movie before they interviewed the people involved with it. So I wanted to make sure that you got to see it.
Thank
That's
you.
for this.
Yeah. It kind of
Oh, you're
helps,
welcome. Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you know what kind of questions to ask,
Yeah,
right?
well, for sure. Yeah, well, for
Yeah.
sure. I got to work together and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so in the fall, hopefully, we'll see how things go. So far, if I could brag a little bit, from the Ottawa Film Festival, I was awarded the Best First Time Director Award, which
Oh,
was kind of
nice.
cool. Yeah, and I got an honorable mention from, or was that the Ottawa? And I got a best first time director for this. I got an honorable mention from another film festival, and right now I've got three semifinalists in other festivals, and I
Very good.
have, and there's about that's I think 20. I think I submitted 22 festivals, and those are out of 10 replies so far. So about halfway there. So we'll see how things go. And it's nice. It's great, especially I really appreciate it because the cast and crew worked really hard on this. Worked with me and for me per se. And it shows a little feather in their cap as well, right? So it's
Yeah,
not just about
absolutely.
me, the director, it's about everybody. It was a real team effort. And that's how I like to promote it. I always ask for opinions. What do you think of this? Do you have something else you want to say? I don't know how 8-year-old girls talk or 10-year-old girls talk. So I would ask Emily, or is this how you would say this? Oh, yeah, okay. So, stuff like that. Yeah, so,
Right. Yeah, I think that's great. Well, I think we'll end it there, but just
okay.
stay on camera, please. So to the audience, you've been listening to David Carter, and look for his short film coming up soon. I would say soon. My friend is a giant, so I think you'll enjoy it. I did. Anyway, thank you everybody for
Yeah.
watching the show. I hope you continue to do so. Take care, everybody, and peace out.